this guy, hey, we have tickets you can go to see him at the concert hall. And so the artists are actually making more money towards the concerts nowadays than they are CDs.
Sort of like what Radiohead did.
Yes. And so it's more along the lines of, yeah, you might be taking $1 away from the guy, which, 5 people do that, and $5. But it's more along the lines of, it's not hurting them.
It's kind of a promotion, you're saying?
Yeah, it's a promotion. It's
A loss
saying,
of $1 could spread people who would spend
basically,
$8.
I mean,
Well,
like, you hear it on the radio, and you're like, hey, I like that. Click, get it on your Crosswire, LimeWire, whatever you want to.
Let's go with the topic of anime itself, about file sharing for anime and manga, things like that.
Okay, well, if you want to go for that one, then you get a downloaded, your buddy you downloaded something off file share. First episode of
Full Metal Alchemist.
Sure, let's go with that one. And you're watching it, and you're like, hey, that's pretty damn cool, why not?
So might as well get a torrent of the whole season.
Something like that, or you'd be like, well, I don't have a computer or something like that, so you go over to Hey Scenes, buy it, $20 or something, go home, watch it. It's just a big emotional thing when you look at it, it's a big picture.
Okay, let's move on to the center.
The reason I'm in the center is like I believe it exactly what he says in the sense of it is stealing and it is illegal for a reason. You can't walk into a convenience store and grab something and walk right out of it. But one of the big things is I'm not exactly the most financially fit person in the world.
Yeah.
So when I hear about an anime, I say, that looks cool. For a long time now, they're getting much better with it, but for a long time now, anime was not cheap, period. It was not a cheap hobby. Like $10 a manga is ridiculous, and so on and so forth. So
$25 for
for
3 episodes, 3 or 4 episodes, and you have to spend about.
And you can spend $50 for the first volume that comes with the box for the next 6, and it's.
It used to be even worse. You actually end up, when all's said and done, if you had 14 or 25 episode series, you can end up spending $150 or $200 to get all of it on DVD.
And yeah, there's a lot of times where I just wasn't willing to spend that, so I would never learn about the series. I would never get into the series.
Yeah, you can. This is a debate.
When I got into anime and manga and all that stuff, one of the first series that ever grabbed my attention is that actually one, not necessarily obscure, but you don't hear about the one someone puts into. It's called Angelic Layer. I just read about it in a New Time magazine. Yeah, it's all right. And I would have never really considered looking into it too hard if I didn't get on my computer, look up what the heck it was, find a subtitled version on it online, and I was like, at the time I didn't even really have a grasp on what anime was, watched it, and I was like, this is really good. So then I went out and bought it. I bought the entire set. That would have never happened if I didn't figure out what I was looking at.
Well,
that's true.
Another thing too is that you don't necessarily have to buy it, for X amount of dollars for you to be, kind of giving back. And sometimes it can be just going to the right source. Like, I'm not trying to be a patron saint or whatever, but I love Intima, and I've watched most all of my episodes that I've watched of Intima have been from Crunchyroll, which, people are voted by advertisements, which I get sick of seeing the same bitchin' commercial over and over again. But I deal with it. I just alt-tab and, browse for a second, because ultimately those advertisements are at the very least giving back to the company as opposed to me buying it. So I still get to watch it for free, and it's like watching TV. You just kind of, oh well, whatever. Commercials.
Yeah.
And you're not, torrenting away, and you're still kind of giving back in some sense.
But what about the small companies, and what about before Crunchyroll existed?
That's true.
Well, here's
I'm saying though that maybe that sort of thing is what I would like to see more of.
Actually, there is, in a sense, more of that going on now. There's, for example, there's not only Crunchyroll, but if you actually sign for the premium service on Crunchyroll, which is about $6, $7 a month, you get stuff from Japan right as it's being made. the day after it's being made, the day after it airs in Japan, you actually see it on Crunchyroll. You pay about $7 a month. It's kind of like paying $7 a month to add a premium channel onto cable TV. And Funimation. You can watch entire series online through Funimation's website. Of course, it's with commercials.
They've actually started posting on YouTube as well. They posted the entire.
I was going to get to that. They actually record. They have back catalogs of various
different stuff. Yeah.
of the ADBs and Jaeon tiles. When they went out of business, they bought their catalogs. You can watch them online. It's all ad supported. Anime News Network. They actually have their own library of anime that you can watch. It's a rotating library. And I think there's a lot of different sites now where you can watch them. Usually, the only difference is, though, if you actually type in some to watch online, you don't know if it's something using Mega Video and some that's where they just uploaded to a general video sharing site, or if it's an ad-supported site until you get there. So there are actually full anime channels online that you can watch without paying for them. Subscription-based services that you can sign for them, where you don't have to spend $50 for a whole DVD set to watch them. And the DVD prices are going down, so that can make something interesting. That can make it easier to buy them too. So that's something to keep in mind. But as far as what I would say, as far as that's concerned, most likely it should be a good idea to at least allow people to put the first or second episode out there to get people interested in it, then go from there. Or at least have somewhere, like a database, where you can watch any type of anime you want with commercials, or set up a subscription where you can watch any anime you want and just pay a monthly fee. Sort of like Rhapsody is. You can download whatever music you want, you just pay a fee every month, and that's the money that goes to the artist, instead of buying single songs or albums. Anyone else want to talk about this, or should we go on since we're...
Just to put in my 2 bits for being in the middle, it's the speed and convenience of whatever's being illegally uploaded.
Yeah.
As the rabid fans can get it up pretty much next day or even same day, whereas waiting for the appropriate channels takes months. And
Well, remember what I said about Crunchyroll? $7 a month gets it the same way, except legally.
yeah.
So,
So that can be speed, but then convenience and cost.
yeah. Well, I'm very sure most people could afford like $7, although I should probably sign for that, so I'm not actually speaking on both ends. All right. In any event, let's go ahead and. Oh.
Yeah, I kind of see like online torrents and stuff as like a great way to advertise to get people into it, because like for obscure animes and stuff, Crunchyroll can't always get to them.
Like Voices from a Distant Star, or
Yeah, like obscure stuff can be really hard to get a hold of, and like things that only fans could really find. And so like it can be spread within people really quickly and get a lot of fans a lot easier.
yeah, that's true. Crunchyroll can do that a lot. Just looking at this thing here. Okay. So yeah, a lot of the obscure ones don't come on Crunchyroll. What about I think some of them come on the Funimation YouTube, at least the archive ones do. I don't know if something that was really obscure, like what do you mean by obscure yourself?
I can't really think of anything off the top of my head. Like there are a lot of obscure things out there.
Maybe for any
Pretty sure you wouldn't find Sora Nostalgia on it.
Yeah, probably. Okay, well, I'm going to, since we're running short on time, move on to a different subject here. I probably should have broke down the actual structure, but I'm just trying to play it by ear right now.
We got 20 minutes left.
Let's move on to,
We're already musical chairs, or?
well, maybe we'll play music.